Welcome to the weekend. We'll have a rerun today, and I'll add a quote. So grab your favorite cuppa, settle in, and let's see what we have.
Today we have a word. We'll talk about a medical discovery, a musical luminary, FBI's 10 most, Jack Ruby, President Kennedy, a song and a quote. So grab your favorite cuppa. Isn't that a pretty one? Grab your favorite cuppa, sit back, and let's check it out.
Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for March 14th. March 14th is the 73rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 74th in leap years, with 292 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is palaver. Palaver can be a noun or a verb. As a noun, palaver means a conference or discussion, such as a palaver between union leaders, or a long back-and-forth discussion between a group of people, such as a palaver between foreign ministers. Palaver can also mean idle talk, as in cut the palaver and get down to business, or even beguiling or misleading speech, such as don't be fooled by the candidate's palaver. As a verb, palaver can mean to talk profusely or idly, as in mothers palavering and drinking diet soda while watching their children play, or I let the sales clerk palaver me into a service contract I didn't need. The word palaver comes to us from Portuguese, Latin before that, words that meant speech. First known use of the word palaver is in the 1700s. Palaver. And with that, penicillin was discovered by Scottish scientist Alexander Fleming in 1928. Once discovered that it would kill certain bacteria, the first patient to be successfully treated with penicillin was in 1930 to treat a case of neonatal conjunctivitis, an eye infection. Work continued in the process of growing and purifying penicillin, and the purified compound called penicillin F was used to treat streptococcal meningitis in 1942, saving the patient's life. The process for obtaining and purifying penicillin is, from what I can gather, quite elaborate and a lot of work to get a little bit of penicillin. But in March of 1942, they had been able to produce enough penicillin to save another patient, and on March 14, 1942, the first U.S. patient was successfully treated for a life-threatening case of streptococcal sepsis. It would take them 3 months to work up enough more penicillin to treat 10 patients. Penicillin was one of the first medications to be effective against many staph and strep infections. This is the birthday of singer-songwriter Michael Martin Murphey, born March 14, 1945, right over there in the Oak Cliff area of Dallas, Texas. He was friends with Michael Nesmith, so when Michael Nesmith became part of the Monkees, he asked Michael Martin Murphey to write a song for them. And the song, What Am I Doing Hanging Round, appears on the Monkees album, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited. He's released 33 albums, the first of which was Geronimo's Cadillac, released in 1971, and 46 singles. Michael Martin Murphey started out as a pop singer but shifted over to country. His album Cowboy Songs was the first album of cowboy music to achieve gold status since Marty Robbins' 1959 album Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs. Good job, Michael Martin Murphey. In February of 1949, a reporter asked the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, for the names and descriptions of the toughest guys the FBI wanted to capture. The initial result of that query was an article entitled FBI's Most Wanted Fugitives Named. The FBI got a lot of publicity as a result of that article, which inspired them to create an ongoing list of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives. It seems public awareness has been very helpful in locating and capturing such fugitives. For several decades, one could view this information in the public area of your local post office, but in 1996, they moved online. You can now see the 10 most list online at www.fbi.gov. You can also follow them on Facebook, or X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and the FBI even has a YouTube channel. Some pretty interesting videos over there. Back to today's subject, though. Since its inception in 1950, the FBI's 10 Most Wanted Fugitives program, over 500 individuals have been so listed, and 494 have been captured or located. 163 of those thanks to public assistance. Nightclub owner Jack Ruby was convicted of killing President John F. Kennedy's presumed assassin Lee Harvey Oswald on March 14, 1964. Speaking of President Kennedy, his body was moved to a permanent burial place at Arlington National Cemetery on March 14, 1967. And will be consecrated and open to the public the following day, March 15, 1967. Today's song is Wildfire by Michael Martin Murphey. You might notice in this picture of the record jacket that he's listed as Michael Murphey without the Martin. He did use just his first and last name early on in his career, but began using his middle name to differentiate himself from the actor Michael Murphey. So some of his early works might just say Michael Murphey, like this one does. The song Wildfire was written by Michael Martin Murphey and Larry Kanzler. This song was released in 1975 and appears on his album Blue Sky, Night Thunder. Wildfire became his highest charting pop hit in the United States, making it right up into the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, Cashbox, and number 1 on the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart. The single achieved platinum status and just kept on selling. Wildfire became Michael Martin Murphey's signature song, and as he says, since it appeals to younger people, it's kept his career fresh. The song came about when he was working on a concept album for Kenny Rogers and going to school, working really long days at the time. After a series of 20-hour workdays, he dreamed the whole song in its entirety, wrote it down when he woke up. There's a good reason right there to write down your dreams if you don't already. Anyway, he feels the song came to him from a story his grandfather told him when he was a little boy about a Native American legend about a ghost horse. The song Wildfire has a place in popular culture, from David Letterman's fascination with the song to Lisa Simpson introducing it by saying, "This next song is about a girl and her pony. It's called Wildfire," and then playing it on her saxophone. There are several covers of Wildfire out there as well. Wildfire by Michael Martin Murphey. Link in the description.
How about that? Today's quote is from 18th century German physicist, satirist, and Anglophile Georg Christoph Lichtenberg, who said, "A sure sign of a good book is that you like it more the older you get." Georg Christoph Lichtenberg. Interesting fellow. I'll try to remember to talk about him when his birthday rolls around in a few months. Until then, y'all stay safe, be good to each other, and I'll see you next time.
And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page. It's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.